Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
All on his own as he comes in, because once he takes those 3 steps up into the ring, he is going to be on his own, but he's done it many, many times before. Only once in his professional career has he left the ring defeated, and he's determined that that will never, ever, ever happen to him again. Brother Dennis beside him with one of his belts. The WBC, the IBF and the IBO heavyweight champion of the world, Lennox the Lion Lewis, comes to Africa for Thunder in Africa, the biggest single event since the Rumble in the Jungle some 27 years ago. He's at his heaviest, but he's at his most focused. All that remains now, the introductions for this world title fight, and we're going to hand over to the MC for the evening, who's the top Master of Ceremonies in the nation of South Africa, Mr. Duncan Pollock.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sun International's Carnival City Casino's Big Top Arena. Lion Promotions, Golden Gloves and Main Events, in association with Cedric Kushner Productions and Budweiser, the undisputed, undefeated King of Beers, brings you Thunder in Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for the WBC, IBO and IBF heavyweight world titles. Our supervisors from the WBC, please welcome Mr. Frank Quill from Melbourne in Australia and Mr. Sam Ramsamy from Johannesburg in South Africa. Our supervisor from the IBF, Marion Mohammed from New Jersey in the United States. And from the IBO from Florida in the United States, Mr. Ed Levine. Our judges at ringside. From Washington, D.C. in the United States, Valerie Dorset. From London in England, Mr. Dave Paris. And from Johannesburg, South Africa, Mr. Thabo Spanpool. Introducing the principals to you. Fighting out of the blue corner on my right, he weighed in at 107.96 kilograms, 238 pounds. His record, 34 wins, 2 losses, 28 wins by way of knockout. He is in the black and red trunks, the former IBF Intercontinental Champion and undefeated former WBU Heavyweight Champion of the world from Baltimore, Maryland in the United States. Please welcome Hasim Rahman.
A big round of applause, but then there's always a round of applause for the underdog, and we should never ever underestimate the champion.
The referee for this fight from Turgren in Belgium, Mr. Daniel van der Wielen. We get to the champion. He weighed in 114.99 kilograms. 253.5 pounds. His record of 38 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 29 wins by way of knockout. He's in the white trunks with red trim. He brings to the ring a gold medal from the '88 Olympic Games in Seoul, Korea. He brings with him the WBC, IBF, and IBO heavyweight world titles. He comes from West Ham in London, England. And he is the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Lennox Lewis.
Thank you.
Well, Frank Maloney's just about to make his way down beside us. He's going to come to join us. You'd never actually guess who he's supporting. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite as blatantly patriotic, but then Frank Maloney is particularly proud of that. We are about to start the contest for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. A man from Baltimore and Maryland contested this some 60 years ago, but Red Berman was knocked out in 5 rounds by Joe Lewis. And Lennox Lewis, different spelling needless to say, sometimes different pronunciation, is in no mood to do anything less, I'm quite sure. The question, Marvin Hagler, has been all the way through the build-up to this, which Lennox Lewis are we going to see here tonight?
Well, what I'm looking at right now is Rodman's kind of dry. You know, he didn't really work up a big sweat in the dressing room there. That could be a major factor right now in the first round. Lennox looked very, very loose, very confident, and you know, he's seen when he came in the ring just dancing. He's just putting his punches together. Even that jab kind of just shook Rodman right there.
Everybody has made such a lot about the sheer size of Lennox Lewis, but in terms of conditioning, although Lewis is 16 pounds heavier, if you look at the way Lewis looks in better condition.
He looks in better condition. I was surprised at the shape that he's in. But I like to see Lewis keeps his hands up a little higher, though. Because this guy here, Rodman, looks like he's trying for a lucky punch in the first round. I noticed that he'd throw a jab to the body and come over the top with a right hand. Oh.
Not too far away by the reigning champion Lennox Lewis. Tried to draw the boxer's hands down with the shot to the body himself. Lovely variation. Lewis towering over his opponent by some 3 inches. The only mistake in his career has been that loss to Oliver McCall. Very nasty scar on the right cheek of Rahman, but that was due to a car accident some years ago.
Well, Lewis has got to keep that left hand up a little higher because Rahman is still looking for the right. Looking for that lucky right hand shot.
Well, that's the one, as we've said on so many occasions, that cost him his title and perhaps $30 or $40 million. That's the sort of money the heavyweights make. I don't think even Marvin, you made that sort of money.
Oh no, I wish I did. See, there's the right hand that I was telling you about. Rahman just caught him with the right hand. And you know, as you know, Lennox Lewis will try to retaliate that.
Rahman didn't quite have the hand speed of McCall or one or two of the other boxers that Lewis has met, but Lewis now will realise that he has to keep that left up, and that's a good solid jab from the champion. Well, he's got a 4 or 5 reach advantage in terms of actually jabbing out that right hand.
Well, you know, I know that Manuel Stewart's probably going to jump right on him when he gets back in the corner, because you can see he's getting hit with punches that he should never get hit with.
Rahman, the rock, and will he be the rock upon which Lennox Lewis's career will founder? Somehow I don't think so. Lewis being a little bit telegraphic with that right hand of his as we come up to the end of this first round. Better work by Lewis, up on his toes, bouncing confident. 10 seconds to go. Little feint of the right again. Two men who know their business.
Well, you know, one thing that I can say, Rahman, he sure ain't scared of Lewis, that's for sure.
So Lennox Lewis now 35 years old, and Emmanuel Stewart is senior trainer straight in front of him. And it wasn't a bad round at all. Interesting to see how the punches broke down. Well, much more accurate by Lennox Lewis.
Here go jail. Good, there you go. Looking good, champion. Just like that. And keep, every time you get moved, then jab. Bang the right kidney inside, okay? Suck it in. Stay like that. Don't let things get you excited. Just stay like you are. Nice and relaxed. Suck it in. Suck it in again, woman. Good. Now step a little strong.
Well, they must be fairly pleased, despite the difference in punches thrown and landed, with the performance of Rahman in that first round. Well, Rahman has more than survived the first round and has posed 1 or 2 problems for the champion Lennox Lewis.
Well, you know, I felt as though that round was very much even. You know, they both was testing each other out. Nobody really done any real damage. I believe now that all the butterflies are gone now, and they're going to get the show on the road.
Yeah, well, Lewis suddenly stepped up the pace a little bit, and there was real venom in that right hand that he threw over the top. And you can see the whole tempo of this contest starting to pick up.
Well, see, this is what I was telling you. Manuel Stewart couldn't wait to get Lennox Lewis back in the corner and let him and tell him that he's dropping that right hand, that left hand there. You don't want Lennox Lewis to get too over anxious to fire that right hand.
Well, Rahman has a terrific record in terms of the knockouts. There was a good combination by Lewis.
That was a nice left uppercut right hand, and Lewis is very known for that uppercut. And if he found that he can catch him with that, I think he's going to use it a lot more. Do you feel the altitude down was probably trying to take effect on one of the fighters?
Rahman walked onto a very good short left from Lewis, who delayed the punch ever so slightly, filled him, and then his man came straight onto it. Manny Stewart not too far away from us in the Lewis corner, just gesturing to his man to come forward. Oh, uppercut once again.
Nice uppercut. If he finds that secret right there, and if it's working one time and working twice now, he's going to use it again.
And Rahman now covering him up. He has felt the power of his opponent, and when you feel the power of somebody that big, it must send shivers not just down your spine but through your very existence.
I remember getting hit one time by John the Beast Mugabe. I learned something after that uppercut.
So a much better round this for Lennox Lewis without any shadow of a doubt.
Well, you know, Rock don't know how to fight in the inside as far as crossing his arms to prevent that uppercut, and that's what I thought that he was really working with in training to prevent Lewis's uppercut and that overhand right.
Referee Daniel van der Weiler from Belgium was the man who should have been judging at the first Lewis-Holyfield fight, which is a draw. Good stiff left once again from the champion, settled into a nice pattern, and almost arrogantly and confidently he pushes his man away.
Again, Lewis is looking for that overhand right, and once he throws the right hand, then he's going to bring that uppercut under again.
Decent little left hand from the challenger coming in, and again. So he's trying to vary his work a little bit and trying to confuse Lennox Lewis.
He's actually trying to get him out of there in this round. And you're wondering if, like I said, the altitude is bothering it because he's got his mouth open, and that's a bad sign.
Lewis putting his man on the back foot at the end of the round, and a baleful stare between the two. And it's been nice and peaceful all the way through, Marvin Hagler, but there was a genuine look of hostility there.
Oh yeah, because he wanted to get this guy out of there. He wanted to get Rahman out of there, and he couldn't believe that Rahman took those uppercuts like that.
Well, interesting variation in that round. We saw many more body shots than we saw in the first round. Rahman's face marking up already. Lennox Lewis looking calm and collected. Remember, we are 6,000 feet above sea level. Frank Maloney, well, that is an outfit and a half. Frank Maloney, I'm not sure that he will get into the Royal Enclosure at Ascot on race day with that.
When you get around, when the inside work inside, he's only hit with the right hand. Jab,
well, you know, the way that I feel, Rahman has got to put more pressure on Lennox because Lennox is just standing on the outside. See, there's that uppercut that I was telling you about that was very dangerous. He needs to fill that space in there. And he's got to cross those arms in the inside.
Round three.
Rahman, yeah.
And Lewis looking for that big combination again, and for a big man he has got terrific hand speed. We wondered which Lennox Lewis we would see. Was it the one who was resigned to going the full distance with David Tua, or the one who tucked Andrew Galotta away in considerable style? And maybe as a combination, overhand right from Lewis, and there's a bit of bruising around the left hand side of the face of Racing.
Again, Rahman's still a dangerous fighter right now because he's jabbing to the body and he's looking for that overhand right.
Well, we were talking about Rahman not having broken much of a sweat before this contest, but he really is sweating now.
After those couple uppercuts, you would be sweating too.
Lewis getting the measure of his man. Lewis dominating the center of this ring. Short right hand inside from the champion, and he's able to tie Rahman up when the challenger comes in.
Exactly, a beautiful uppercut there. That's what he's developed. This is what Manuel Stewart has taught him. You remember years ago when he used to drop that punch, he didn't use it to telegraph it. Now he throws it so quick you can't even know it's coming.
The swelling underneath the left eye of the challenger has grown considerably. Lewis with his mouth open. Again, the big right hand, but timed it very poorly.
I think that would hurt me.
Rahman very slowly puts his hands up. There's that right hand. Lewis read it very well. Was on the retreat, and then has closed his man down. He really has a nice repertoire, Lewis, hasn't he?
He's doing real well, but the problem that I'm looking at right now is he's got his mouth open. This could be a dangerous shot. If he gets hit in the jaw with the mouth open, that's a dangerous. You got to close that mouth.
Left and then a right and then a short left from Lewis. Dropped the left hand, nearly got himself caught again.
That's what I see. Rahman now, the more he's starting to get more confident now. See, there's another shot. After he takes these kind of punishing shots, the uppercut, he starts to get more braver. But I can see the left swelling over the left eye now.
Well, Rahman matching Lewis more or less in this round, jab for jab. There's very little in it, just about half a minute to go to the end of the third. There were odds of 200 to 1 on Rahman winning this in the first round. Lewis started as a 15 or 18 to 1 on favourite.
It's still too early, you know, and I still don't count Rahman out. And Lennox Lewis shouldn't count him out either.
Well, a little flurry at the end of this round shows that Rahman is by no means finished. And to use that old boxing adage, he really has come here to fight.
Well, this is the kind of fight that we was here looking for.
Good little clip at the end from Lennox Lewis and Gary Richards with Frank Maloney.
Frank, what do you think so far?
So far he's doing everything textbook. He's got his distance now. He's starting to find the body, which he did in the first round and a half, and now he's just landing shots hopefully at will. And I think, you know, another round of this and maybe the fifth round, I think Rahman are beginning to go. The eye's beginning to swell underneath as well from the jab, which is really working first class.
He's got to be careful though, hasn't he?
Yeah, Rahman's dangerous, but you know, Lennox seems to have found the distance. As I said, he's getting the right hand in, which was missing in the first round, and he's starting to attack the body, which he hasn't been doing. So, you know, I think it's just a matter of time and patience.
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you, Gary. Well, there's been a fair old number of punches thrown in this contest so far, and most of them, I suspect, have come from Lennox Lewis.
Well, you know what I see, Jim, is that when he got caught with that body shot, the left to the body, he backed up out of there and then got caught with a left hook. That's a bad move on the side of a fighter. Never back straight back up in the line.
You've got to keep the head moving from side to side every time.
Side to side. Never show your opponent that you back straight back, because he's going to walk right on top of you, just like Lynn is catching him now, probably working on that eye, that left eye.
Good jab by Lewis, and he looks a lot stronger in this round. Oh, uppercut by the champion. Rahman in a little bit of trouble. To be fair to him, he came back, and that right hand of his has come in. And what a great challenger he is.
Rahman said that he's going to make this war.
Well, he has gone to war. Daniel Van de Vele brings them apart. We suspected that we may not need the judges. There's a bit of a timeout been taken. Lewis trying that uppercut again.
That was nice. That was a nice try right there. I couldn't see Rahman trying to walk into that. He's got to keep the pressure on Lennox, though.
Lewis a little bit flat-footed at the moment.
A little flat-footed and a little dirty, hitting behind the head. Lennon is known for holding and punching behind the head.
Rahman still throwing good shots.
He's got to close the gap in right now with Lennox.
Well, Lewis with the mouth really open, and he's trying to suck in what little oxygen there is here at 6,000 feet, just outside Johannesburg, in the aptly named Carnival City. Well, the referee telling Lewis off. Good defense by the champion. Into the second half of this, the fourth round. A lot of people predicted it wouldn't go as far as this, but Rahman is still there.
Well, I predicted this. The way it's looking right now, it should go 4 or 5 rounds.
Now it's Lewis's turn to hold on. It's a little bit untidy in this round, and Lewis hasn't been nearly as dominating. Certainly not compared with the third round.
Rahman's got to get close in case they. Oh, beautiful. This one he was trying to suck Lennox Lewis in again to throw the right hand, and he countered with his own right.
I think, to be fair, Lewis just moved the chin like half an inch to the side, and it glanced off, but Lewis, obviously, as we know, has a very good chin.
Well, you know, you see Lennox Lewis now playing with him, dropping both hands, and you can see that this guy is a dangerous fighter, this Rockman.
Well, how many people have we seen do that and got themselves caught?
Exactly.
Just about 25 seconds to go. Lewis trying to be first with that jab. Well, there's a little bit of a bounce now on the step of the man in the white trunks, the champion Lennox Lewis. Well, a smile on the face of Lewis, but Rahman is noted not just for a good right hand, but a good left jab, and he's getting that through.
Well, you know, Lennox Lewis has been a lot of times 12 rounds in the championship fights. Rahman has been 2 times 12 rounds, and both times he has won in the last rounds.
Well, that was a very good finish to that round. So 4 gone, and Lewis, one suspects, has thrown certainly many more in the way of punches.
You start shooting the left hooks, you're going to knock him out of here. Shoot the left hooks, just pick him on the left.
Well, 51 to 43 in terms of punches landed, so Lewis hasn't got his own way. And interesting, Marvin, that last round, it was the challenger who landed more shots.
Sure, well, you know, he kind of rocked, not rocked, but, you know, I think Lennox was more surprised by getting caught with that punch. I mean, you got to respect this guy now.
Well, a bit of action from that round. And Rahman, the hands held up, and that was a good round the corner left from the challenger. And when somebody that size hits you, you suddenly think, what am I doing here?
253 pounds going inside your head. I think somebody's going to have a headache here tonight.
Well, at the moment, that wasn't a bad shot right at the end by Rahman.
I believe if I was Lennox Lewis, I would just start boxing this guy, work on that left eye. Close that eye right up.
Not too far away by Lewis.
Again, Rahman staying too far back.
Everybody talks about the fact that Lewis hasn't been here for that long, but it's been nearly 260 days since Rahman had a contest. He was supposed to fight in October, but had to have a little sister move from his lower back. So while he's been preparing as best he can, he's perhaps a little bit rusty in terms of sheer competition. Lewis looking more confident.
He's looking more confident, but Manuel Stewart, I think, has got him picking his hands back up, not being so much of a fancy dance.
Well, the sweat from the pair of them just showering over us here at ringside in our comedy position.
Got my hair all wet, too.
Where did you leave it? Lewis gets the challenger in his own corner, and underneath Manny Stewart saying, come forward, come forward. This is where Rahman does not want to be.
Well, they're right in our corner right now.
And Lewis strangely let him away.
Well, you know, Rahman to me is a sneaky kind of a fighter. You know, he backs up, you think you got this guy, you think he's not going to come back and fight, then all of a sudden, he like puts his head down and just throws crazy punches. Looking for that lucky shot.
Midway through the 5th, Rahman still there.
There you go.
Wasn't too far away. Whoa!
This is the shot that I'm just talking about. He put that head down and he just lets it go.
Lewis smiles, but he knows it wasn't too far away. Wonderful jab by Lewis.
There again, Lennox Lewis is starting to drop the hand. The left hand is going down again.
Bit of swelling on the upper lip of Lennox Lewis, and a little bit underneath his own left eye. Good
nice
combination.
Good right body shot to Rahman. I think Rahman felt that one. He's going to make him pay for that right hook that he just got caught with. Oh!
Oh, he's got him! He's got him! He got careless and he's got him! Is it Oliver McCall all over again? It is! And Lewis has gone! Lewis has gone! It's another upset of immense proportions.
Unbelievable.
This has been billed as thunder in Africa, and the thunder and the lightning and tempest have washed over Lennox Lewis, and all his titles have gone, and he has only himself to blame. Stunning finish. They knew all about the Rahman right hand. They told him about it. They said, don't do what you did against Oliver McCall. And despite it all, he got too careless. What a finish.
Too overconfident. That's what we was worried about before the beginning of this fight. And I told you it only takes 1 second. Rodman put the attack on him with 3 or 4 left hooks, and then countered with that right hand, and that I felt that right hand.
Well, there is the happiest man on the planet. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. The Rock has triumphed. The Lion has been humbled.
Unbelievable.
That is right up there with the Rumble in the Jungle, with, well, McCall stopping Lewis, more recently with Hasim Rahman losing his title, but I have to say there are very, very few upsets. Marvin Hagler will come close to this.
Well, we was talking about upsets all tonight, and this has got to be the biggest one, I think, of either it ties than Mike Tyson and Douglas.
What a finish, what a right hand, what a challenger, and now what a champion.
Oh. He's got a powerful punch, this Rockman.
Well, he certainly has. He wants to go over to the Lewis corner and say thank you very much indeed. Lennox Lewis got caught way back in 1994 in Wembley by Oliver McCall. He swore he would never get caught like that again. And what do you know, he did get caught like that again. There, look at Lewis's left hand. It's absolutely nowhere near, and he let it go. Oh, what a shot, what a contact.
That is because Lennox Lewis didn't keep his hands up, and he was backing up. Anytime that a fighter backs up and drops his hand, he's vulnerable for a good shot.
Well, there was serious controversy when
Exactly.
he wasn't allowed to continue against McCall, but there was never any doubt about it. And if anything, that was a better punch by Rahman than the one we saw from Oliver McCall some 7.5 years ago.
Well, I got to tell you something, Jim. When you take punches like that, like with Oliver McCall and now with The Rock, it's very hard for you to bounce back again. I mean, now also all the fighters out there now, Lennox is not a threat now. They know if they tag him, he's got to go down.
Well, for the second time in his career, Lennox Lewis has found himself in real trouble. Well, there it is. Lewis couldn't believe it. Rahman certainly believed it because he believed in himself.
I don't know the reason.
Well, we can watch this over and over and over again. It was the punch of dreams from Rahman and the punch of nightmares for Lennox Lewis. Flat on his back and counted out, and his title's gone.
Well, maybe I made the wrong prediction. I said somebody's going to go in the fall for the 5th round.
Yeah, but you got the wrong somebody.
I got the wrong somebody.
During your radio gigs here, did he question your sexuality?
Yeah, he said, why are you starting that gay stuff? I'm saying, I'm not gay. Why are you calling me gay? He said he's not calling me gay. So I don't understand that.
What did you say, Hasim?
I said what he did was gay. I said he wanted to take it to the courts. And we fighting that around the same time I told him we was going to fight anyway. So I said that was gay to take it to the court. I mean, and I don't know why he was so offended.
I'm 100% woman's man, so don't even play that. If you're worried about that, bring your sister, bring anyone.
No, hold. I'm going to tell you right now, if you don't want me saying nothing about your mother, your father, or anybody else in your family, do not say nothing about my family.
Be careful what you say.
Do not say nothing about my family.
Be careful what you say to
Do
me.
not say nothing. Man, you ain't nobody. I say what I want to say to you.
Go ahead, man.
I say what I want to say to you. What you mean? I just said it. What you want me to say? What you want me to say?
Same thing.
Like what? Like what?
You want.
Like what?
Anything.
What you want me to say?
Same thing you want.
What?
Fellas. Okay, we don't want that. Guys,
Come on, big man. Come on, big man. Come on, big man. Come on.
gentlemen, please welcome the 1988 Olympic gold medalist, the former two-time and undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Here is tonight's challenger, introducing Lennox Lewis. And his opponent across the ring on my right, fighting out of the red corner, the defending world champion, entering the ring wearing red, white, and blue trunks, fighting out of and representing his home of Baltimore, Maryland. He weighed in at 236 pounds with a record of 35 wins, 2 losses. He has 29 wins coming by without knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight he is making the first defense of his title. Please welcome the WBC, the IBF, and the IBO heavyweight champion of the world, introducing the hard-hitting Hasim Rahman. Once again, the referee in charge, now to give instructions, Joe Cortez.
What will happen in the first round here? It could be so revealing. Will Lewis come out in gung-ho fashion to take the play right away from Rahman? Lewis is not sweating. Why, Glenn?
No, he's not. He doesn't look very warm. He doesn't look very loose. He's standing very, very still. He should be more warmed up than that. He needs a good start.
Ruckman looked the more nervous of the two for the first time this week when they walked in.
We were losing the dressing room. I expect a good, clean fight. I want good sportsmanlike conduct. Guys, these trunks here, Lennox, a little high. Punches here, above here, they're good. Same thing with you. Punches here, trunks a little high. Punches here is good. Give me a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Remember, guys, I'm fair, but I'm firm. God bless you. God bless America. Touch him up.
Joe Cortez, who gets $8,000, by the way, for being the referee tonight. Rahman is on $5 million plus a cut of the pay-per-view. Lennox Lewis $11 million to add to his enormous earnings. Rahman, who was on $13,000, that's all, for the fight before he fought for the heavyweight championship. You can see the scars still on that side of his face from that car crash. A likeable, charming, charismatic man. Is he the future, or does Lennox reclaim the crown? How wary will Lewis be about that right hand? And remember too that Rahman in training has been working a lot on the left hook. The jab battle will be important as well, and Rahman can jab. There's not much in the reach between the two of them. And there is the Rahman jab, doubled up on it impressively.
Yes, that's what he does. He does try and double up for 2s and 3s, and that's what's good. That keeps Lennox off balance.
Lewis looking much sleeker than of late, nearly half a stone lighter than he was in South Africa 7 months ago. That's good. He's even lighter than he was a year ago against David Tua, when he put on something of a masterclass. Good work by Lewis behind his jab. He has to snap it up, and he's looking for the right hand too. He has a lot to prove. This man has ripped up his world in the last 7 months. Hammered his ego. Here's his chance to answer.
Well, Lennox has shown the character to come back from a loss like that before. So can he do it again?
Working nicely behind the jab. So far, no sign of the Rahman right. The punch that changed heavyweight history in South Africa. Rahman would like to get close in if he could. He's been working on some moves for that scenario too.
That's a good jab from Lennox, nice and stiff. He needs to use that, that's very important.
This is good from Lewis so far. He's snappy. Fitter, far more focused. But he is 36 now. Will there be signs of the wear and tear if it becomes a long, hard battle? Can the legs do 12 rounds?
But he's a great athlete, Lewis. He's been in the gym longer than ever before.
Lewis winning the battle of the jabs in the first round, but Rahman having his successes as he did in South Africa. There's blood by the left eye of Rahman. Remember, he was cut in the first fight.
Look where the left hand is of Lewis. It's very, very low.
It's a battle of the jabs in round one, and Rahman's got a little cut too. Fascinating. There it is again. And he's really throwing the punch with authority. Doubles up on it. Lewis's first round, no question. Now, how bad's that cut for Rahman?
If you can't see the face, put the right hand in the stomach. The straight right hand to the stomach. Okay? Suck it in. Let's get the water.
I'm not getting a good look at it. Did look in a bad place. It was just in the corner of the eye. So he doesn't really need that this early in the fight.
You don't hurt him
That was
already.
the result of the good jabbing of Lennox Lewis.
Grease already. Now here are these jabs. Lewis's reach, by the way, is 84 inches officially, and Rahman's 82. There's not a lot in it, though Rahman looks much the smaller man.
That was a good jab from Rahman there. Rocked the head back of Lewis.
They were worried about the first round too. The Rahman camp, they thought that he might go to his head a bit. It could be danger for him. Here we go for round two. You hardly need the identification. Lewis, of course, in the white trunks. Using his boxing skills. Some wondered if he'd be tentative, whether Rahman had messed him up. Doesn't look that way, does it? Looks like he knows what he wants to do, and he's so far doing it, but there's a long, long way left.
Stop. There you go, step back.
This man has been at the top now for 9 years. Don't forget that, Lennox Lewis. He's won 12 World Heavyweight Championship fights. Only 3 men in history have fought more times at this level than him. Joe Lewis, Muhammad Ali and Larry Holmes. Great shot. Left hook, Lewis.
Solid punches. Lennox needs to keep it on the outside. Use that reach.
Let's go.
Stepping in behind the jab. He's using the jab so far even better than he did against David Tua. Sometimes has a tendency to just paw with it and use it as a rangefinder. He kind of messes about with it. Not here.
Yes, he's using it well, but I don't like the way he's dropping that left hand. You know, he should have learned from the first fight. He needs to keep that hand up.
These just the opening salvos. That's a nice combination from Rahman, who says he's improving and says he has different punches to throw than Lewis saw in South Africa. It's a technical fight so far, but Emmanuel Stewart, the trainer of Lennox Lewis, says there'll come a time here where he might even have to get hit and hurt and go toe-to-toe to knock it out of Rahman. And if that happens, we really will see something.
It's nice from Lewis, the left, right.
Rahman 7 years younger, remember. Certainly the fresher of the two, you'd think anyway, but without Lewis's pedigree.
Rahman does look strong, pressing forward.
These tactics are going to ask a lot of Lewis's legs.
Yes, they are. He's using the ring a lot, but the jab's going out. Nice double jab.
It's a smart start by Lennox Lewis, and Rahman is frustrated as the bell goes to end round two. Both rounds to Lennox, I would suggest.
Yes, I would agree, Ian. Good work from the jab. That's the start that he needed. Just dominating behind that. He's having to move quite a bit. I don't know how long he's going to be able to keep that up.
Just take that away from him. Even if you want to just stand in front of him and shield it in front of him. He's not doing it. You kind of get him to the floor a little bit more.
No Frank Maloney these days. He's back with the boys in London tonight. I wonder how he's feeling about all that as he watches these pictures with the same old team in the corner. The good old Cutsman Al Gavin. This is just precautionary, isn't it?
Yeah, just making sure that no swelling develops.
But has the real fight started yet?
I don't think it has yet, but this is good from Lewis. This is what he needs. Needs to get into the fight, to warm up, to get the reflexes going.
Here comes round 3 for the heavyweight championship of the world. Rahman needs a bit more head movement. He might be improving, but that jab, Lewis can hardly miss him with it. Could be that if Lewis keeps doing that, he busts him up. Good shots though by Rahman. Did he make a little dent there?
Yes, there was a left hook, just seemed to have an effect on the legs of Lewis.
Rahman showing again here that he's not a bad operator. I think it was doing him a disservice just to say he was a fellow who came in off the street and hit a home run. More to it than that.
It's Lennox that's having to use the energy by moving about. Rahman keeping the centre of the ring.
Can Lewis do this for 12 rounds on the jab alone? There's that right hand, which has been a honey punch for him down the years. Both of these two men at their latest for 2 years, a measure of how thoroughly they've both prepared.
Break out clean, here we go. Let's go.
He was trying to get off with the hook in the right hand. He likes that combination. Left hook, straight right hand.
Circling away from Rahman's right. Trying to give him lateral movement all the time. Never quite there in front so that he can be hit. Lovely combination, and Rahman troubled by that and looking disorganised for a moment. Hand speed was great from Lewis there.
It's a good start from Lewis. It's confident, he's focused, he's getting his punches off well.
And the cut gets a little worse by the eye of Rahman. So far, so good for Lewis in his quest to make history as a 3-time heavyweight champ. Good shot, left hook, that's what they've been working on. The Rahman camp up at Big Bear in the mountains of Northern California.
Yes, he thinks that Lewis will be looking for the right, and they've been working on the left hook, also the uppercut.
Still super sharp, Lewis, with the jab. Has he ever worked better with it?
Oh, he's very focused. The right hand is starting to come into play.
Well, if he keeps on hitting him with this jab, it's got to have an effect. He's going to start busting him up. Just once or twice in that round, Rahman showed 1 or 2 signs of distress, I thought. He's going to start getting frustrated if it carries on like this.
Yes, he is. He's going to start losing that belief that he's got with Lennox boxing so well.
Don't like kidney and stuff. And every time you come at you, do like this, put them hands up, that kills everything. Just keep doing that. You can't get over your arms. Every time you make any kind of retreat,
they're trying to take Lewis's right hand out of the fight so he can't land it, but they failed there.
Yes, but that's good. Lewis throwing the left hook first, that just takes the concentration away from the right hand that comes. This is a good shot from Lewis. He does use that a lot.
And Rahman there looked disorganised momentarily.
Yes, he did. That one hurt him.
Rahman, a family man, a father of 3. His 10-year-old boy will be watching this, and his 5-year-old calls him Hasim, idolises him after seeing all the TV coverage he's been getting. But will he carry on being champion when he goes home? Lewis gets him again with the right. This is authoritative so far from Lewis, but the question remains, how will he cope if this develops into a long, grueling battle? Might there be other phases? Maybe not if he carries on landing like that. Right hand, Lewis, terrific shot.
He's very, very focused, Lewis. He knows what he's got to do. He's fighting to a game plan.
Let's go.
I think Lewis felt going into this, as long as he didn't get hit by the big right hand again or caught, as long as he was sharp, his boxing skills would take care of business. So far, that's the story, but I stress, so far. It's good from Rahman, doubling up on his jab. Usually fighters who can jab with Lewis give him trouble. Ray Mercer did, and Frank Bruno did for quite a long time before Lewis stopped him in 7.
Starting to get his jab more powerful.
Oh! Wonderful shot by Lennox Lewis, and he's laid out Hasim Rahman. Is he going to get up from that? It was a fantastic shot, and Rahman will do very, very well. He will be stopped. It is over. Revenge, redemption for Lennox Lewis, 3-time heavyweight champion of the world for Great Britain, and he could not have been more sensational or sparkling or sizzling in doing it. There's the answer. Rahman turned his world apart in South Africa, and Lewis's answer was to do exactly the same back.
Well, that was the perfect answer. He couldn't have done it better. It was the perfect shot. Complete revenge, and he got it in such style. That was exactly what he wanted. You saw how happy Lewis was at that punch, beating his chest.
That was, I would say, the performance of Lennox Lewis's career. Bearing in mind everything that's happened.
Well, he was so focused. You know, we wondered if he was perturbed, if Rahman had got under his skin. He just kept himself to himself, did the job, went out there and did a perfect job.
It was a masterclass. And not only that, he closed the show with one of the greatest punches he's ever thrown.
It was truly superb. That was an excellent punch from Lennox Lewis, and he'll have a big, big smile on his face with that.
And all those people around the world, and in the United States especially, who've doubted this man, who've begrudged him his respect and recognition possibly, now he can call himself 3-time champion like that.
Well, what a superb combination. The left hand, the left hook and the right hand. We saw it a little bit earlier. The timing much better on this occasion.
And the first thought that goes through my mind, and maybe we're getting ahead of the game, listen to the crowd as they watch that, is that when Mike Tyson sees that, he might not want to fight Lennox Lewis.
Not on that form. That was scintillating form from Lennox. Beautiful jab, softened Rahman up. Then he put the left hook, right hand, and that is style.
Rahman had taunted him all week. He'd been full of chat. He'd outwitted Lennox Lewis, but when it mattered in the ring, Lewis delivered, and how. And there is Lennox Lewis. Brilliant jab. Here he is with Aaron.
Congratulations, Lennox. You came into the fight. Your opponent was bone dry. Did you notice anything right from the start?
Well, I seen a little twinkle in his eye, you know. Plus, I've been dreaming all week to change his name. Change his name from has been Rahman. His name has been Rahman now.
How did you turn your anger at him for all of the taunts he's been making at you into a positive?
No, man, no.
Into a positive for you.
I didn't even hear the question.
I'm sorry, Lennox. How did you turn? How did you turn all the anger that you had welling up in you because of the taunting, because of your own lackluster performance in Africa, into this positive?
I just stayed focused. You know, when we were in South Africa, I said that the belts were on loan. So he's had his 15 minutes of glory. Now they come back home to me.
Do you acknowledge now that you didn't give your absolute best effort? You didn't take him seriously in Africa?
Well, you know what? I didn't take him serious enough. I was in good shape in Africa, but you know, one punch, he got through with one punch when it was I was a little not focused on that fight, and he got through with a great punch. We're in the heavyweight business. You can end things in one punch.
Why did you hide out in your dressing room tonight? You seemed like you were just what, in your own zone, and you just were focused on what was going to happen?
Yeah, I was very focused. I didn't want to get into the hoopla. I was just showing the world that I was focused. They couldn't see too much of me. Even Rockman wanted to come in and see what I was doing. He was nervous, so he was outside my dressing room. I was laughing. Madiba! Yeah, big up South Africa.
The first few rounds,
Winnie,
you describe what you were doing in the first few rounds. Your jab seemed more authoritative than we've ever seen it. You stayed away from his right hand. Was that the plan?
Yeah, just to give him some movement. He couldn't take the movement, and you know, I just showed him a different style. I told you, I can switch any style I want to, and this time I just showed him a different style of moving.
All right, let's go now to the fourth. Let's go to the fourth round and take a look at the knockout. You tell us what you saw. Emmanuel told you in the corner you can be more aggressive. What did you see?
Well, I notice every time I try and reach around him with a hook, he sticks his arms out. And more time, he's watching out for the straight right hand. So I kind of turned it around on him and threw a roundhouse right hand.
Emmanuel Stewart also said to you, look, this man doesn't counterpunch. You can attack him.
Yeah, you know, I took some of the pressure to him. You know, gave him a lot of things to think about. Kitchener Waterloo, big up.
What does that mean?
Huh?
What did you say?
I'm just bigging him up, bigging up all these places. Miami, big up.
All right. It was speculated before this fight, and reasonably, that you had been knocked out by this man, and that you would be conscious of that in this fight. How did you express that?
Well, I definitely wasn't gun shy. You know, plus I wanted to knock him out in the fourth round a little quicker than he knocked me out. So, you know, in a sense, I got my up on him.
Do you feel that any of his pre-fight antics from the fight at the ESPN publicity tour to all of the stuff that was going on helped you in any way?
Yeah, he did. Those things really helped me. You know, I showed a lot of disrespect there, and I just was keeping all these things inside me. I said, okay, you're going to pay fight time, and you know, this is where he paid for it.
Thank you very much. But now talk to us about your future. There are a number of fighters out there who you could fight, whether it's Tyson, Bird, who is a number one ranked fighter. It could be your countryman Kirk Johnson. It could be Vladimir Klitschko. Where do you want to go?
You know, I want Tyson. Definitely want Tyson. You know, I've been waiting for him since after the Holyfield fight, but it doesn't really matter to me. I'll take whoever. You know, Ocean's 11 is coming up, and I was fighting a guy named Magnovich on screen, so that fight may come around. There's Bird out there. There's enough guys out there, but you know, whoever.
How satisfying is this fight for you compared to anything else that's happened in your career?
It's very satisfying for me because, you know, a lot of people had me count out. They said I was too old. They said this may wreck my future. You know, I'm really happy about it. You know, I knew what I wanted to do, what I was going to go out there and do, and I went out and did it.
Thank you very much, Lennox. Congratulations again.